Hello everyone, this is part 3 of my review of the movie Tar, starring Cate Blanchett, written, directed, and produced by Todd Field. As the title indicates, I've made 2 other videos reviewing this movie, and although I discussed the plot, what I enjoy so much about this movie is its world building. It paints a very accurate picture of the internal world of the artist, particularly when that internal world turns dark, and of classical music culture in general. The main character, Lydia Tarr, is sleeping with her students. When one of those students commits suicide, people find out what's been going on, and it destroys Lydia's career. That's the plot. But Lydia is also an extremely accomplished musician, composer, and conductor, with all the things that can come with that. Lydia is sensitive to sound. There are multiple scenes where she wakes up in the middle of the night to track down a random reoccurring noise from the air conditioner or the refrigerator door. Lydia sacrifices herself, her identity, in service of the art. The Juilliard conducting class scene I discussed in an earlier video shows this. I'll put links to my other review videos in the description below. Lydia has imposter syndrome and suffers from anxiety. She has actually constructed a false persona because she doesn't believe that who she is good enough. Now, to be fair, this character actually has something to be anxious about. She's cheating on her wife with her students, while also trying to distance herself from her background and upbringing. Of course, I'm not saying that every artist creates a false persona, but many of us deal with feelings of inadequacy, a sense that we're not good enough, and an unacknowledged dread at being found out. And Lydia is absolutely passionate about the art. And that passion makes her extremely opinionated about it. There's a part in the movie where Lydia wakes up in the morning to the radio playing the final measures of Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony. And she tries to guess who's conducting based on the interpretation she's hearing. When the final notes are played, she says this: "Oh, it's you, MTT. Why do you insist on holding things up like that? Your business here is rejoicing, not screaming like some fucking porn star." First, MTT stands for Michael Tilson Thomas. He's a famous conductor in real life. Second, I'm actually familiar with the recording they're using in the movie, and I happen to agree with Lydia's critique of it. What she's saying is the interpretation is overblown, exaggerated to the point of ridiculousness, like a porn star faking an orgasm. I laughed out loud the first time I saw this. The scene I want to focus on in this video makes me cringe every time I watch it. It's the orchestra rehearsal where Lydia reveals her Elgar Cello Concerto Plan. Bit of plot for context. Lydia conducts an orchestra in Berlin, one of the top orchestras in the world, and she's in the middle of rehearsals with the group to do a live concert recording of Mahler's Fifth Symphony. It will be the crowning achievement of her career. Now, Lydia needs to choose another piece of music to go along with the Mahler to round out the concert program. And she's been putting off this choice for a while, so she really needs to make a decision. Meanwhile, it just so happens that a new, young, attractive cellist named Olga has just won a position with the orchestra. Now, Lydia was intrigued and attracted to Olga from the moment she sees her the first time. She alters her audition evaluation in order to guarantee Olga win the spot in the first place. Well, one day, Lydia has lunch with Olga and learns that Olga loves the Elgar Cello Concerto. It's her favorite piece. It inspired her to be an artist, and she just recently performed it. Now, the very next thing we see is Lydia watching a recording of Olga's Elgar performance and lusting after the young woman even more. Which brings us to the scene. Lydia's on the podium conducting the orchestra through the slow movement of Mahler's Fifth Symphony. Lydia's assistant, Francesca, is sitting in the back of the hall listening, in tears over the beauty of it. As the music concludes and fades into silence, we get a close-up shot of Lydia, motionless, not wanting to let the moment go. Finally, she does. She compliments the group, and everyone relaxes. People start marking their parts, moving around in their chairs, commenting to each other about the playing, etc., doing the business of orchestra rehearsal. They become just a group of people again, doing a job. While 10 seconds earlier, they were in lockstep, acting as one mind, one spirit, to bring forth what this great piece of music had to offer. See, artists live with their hearts open and on full display. We have to. We need ready access to our deepest feelings in order to do the work. And what the movie depicts here, profound emotional catharsis as a result of contending with great music, is something we professional artists experience all the time. While most people rarely experience this in their jobs and lives, it's just a Tuesday afternoon for us. Okay, back to the scene. Lydia takes an informal poll of the orchestra, asking what the group thinks about the pairing of the Mahler Symphony with, wait for it, the Elgar Cello Concerto. Now, no one knows the details of Lydia's conversation with Olga, so they have no reason to question why Elgar. The orchestra members look around at each other and slowly begin to applaud Lydia's choice. They like the idea. I mean, the Elgar is a great piece. Then Lydia says that she feels the cello soloist should come from within the orchestra's own ranks. This causes immediate enthusiastic applause. You see, the top level world-class orchestras can literally ask any cellist in the world to come play, and that cellist would happily say yes. And Lydia is saying she wants to give this prestigious performing opportunity to one of the cellists in the orchestra. Now, usually when this is done, the principal or first chair cellist gets this opportunity. And in the movie, while the orchestra is applauding loudly, they are looking at the principal cellist, already congratulating her for the opportunity they're thinking is about to be hers. But here is where the curveball is thrown. Lydia addresses the principal cellist directly and in front of everyone, says that because of the demands of leading the cello section in the Mahler, she doesn't think the principal cellist could handle playing the concerto as well, and therefore wants to hold auditions so that the rest of the cello section must compete for the concerto opportunity. At this, the entire orchestra goes silent. I mean, it's a flimsy excuse, and everyone knows it. And the principal cellist is shocked, but she manages to stumble out her agreement with the plan to hold auditions on the following Monday, mere days away. Once again, the movie is doing some beautiful world building. And as I said, I cringe every time I watch this scene. See, Lydia taking a poll asking the orchestra for its opinion is just manipulative, playing the game that they're all colleagues. On an orchestra stage, the conductor on the podium is boss. They have broad latitude to do pretty much whatever they want when it comes to the music making. It is not a democracy, not even close, no matter how lovely this or that particular conductor might be. That's why when the orchestra agreed with Lydia's choice, they were willing to show their approval through applause. When they didn't agree, nothing but silence. If you've ever held a job, you know disagreeing with the boss is dangerous. And if you can't say no, then you really can't say yes, can you? Sorry to pull back the veil here, but this is one of the reasons for musician ambivalence toward orchestral playing. On the one hand, you get to be a part of this fabulous music making with literally scores of other people, all in lockstep. Profound emotional catharsis on command. There's really nothing like it. But on the other hand, your individuality, your unique artistic voice, the best of you perhaps, takes a backseat to the wishes and whims of the person on the podium. When it works, when intentions are right, it can be glorious. When it doesn't work, when people are people with their egos and failings and insecurities, well, the reality is the audience very rarely notices any of this. Just like where you work, regardless of workplace drama, people just do their jobs anyway. But just as the movie depicts, sometimes the orchestra stage can be a very unhappy place. If you enjoyed this video or any of the others I make here about music, viola playing, movies, or art in general, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. It's really helpful for a new channel like mine just getting off the ground. And also hit the notification bell so that you are alerted the next time I post. Thanks for watching.